Wednesday, March 18, 2026, AGNDD Intel I Report topic. Trump's DHS pick, Markwayne Mullin gets grilled on anger issues and foreign travel. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. Trump's DHS pick, Markwayne Mullin gets grilled on anger issues and foreign travel. Mullin is expected to be confirmed as Homeland Security Secretary, but he's lost one Republican vote in the committee's chairman, Republican Senator Rand Paul. NBC News, March 18, 2026, 10:11 a.m. EDT, updated March 18, 2026, 2:06 p.m. EDT. By Sahil Kapoor, Sarah Mims, and Alexandra Marquez. Washington, Senator Markwayne Mullin, R. Okla, President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Homeland Security, faced fellow senators on Wednesday at a heated confirmation hearing. The meeting was confrontational right from the start and ended on a similar note. Mullin has been tapped to take over DHS at a crucial time. The U.S. is locked in a war with Iran, and the Trump administration faces a backlash for its aggressive immigration enforcement tactics. DHS funding lapsed on Feb 13, leading to major delays at airports, and the two parties haven't reached a deal. Sen. Rand Paul, R.K., the chair of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, used his opening statement to confront Mullin for reportedly calling him a freaking snake and saying he completely understands why a neighbor assaulted Paul in 2017. "Tell me to my face why you think I deserved it," Paul told Mullin, while also bringing up Mullin's attempt to challenge a labor union leader to a fight during a 2023 committee hearing. "And while you're at it, explain to the American public why they should trust a man with anger issues to set the proper example for ICE and Border Patrol agents. I just wonder if someone who applauds violence against their political opponents is the right person to lead an agency that has struggled to accept limits to the proper use of force," Paul said. Paul and the top Democrat on the committee, Senator Gary Peters of Michigan, later pressed Mullin repeatedly for details about classified travel he said he had taken in the past. As Peters noted, Mullin has long suggested that he did sensitive work abroad but has been light on details. He quoted Mullin telling Fox News this month that he knew the smell and taste of war, though he did not serve in the armed services, as noted at the time by Democratic Representative Pat Ryan of New York, a veteran. Mullin told Peters that there was a misunderstanding and that the travel was an official trip he took as a member of the House in 2015 and 2016, and it is classified. Mullin has been picked to take over for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, whom Trump fired earlier this month after a rocky tenure. The president has selected Mullin to replace her by March 31st, although he still needs to be confirmed by the Senate first. Republicans control 53 seats in the chamber, and Mullin needs 50 senators to secure confirmation. Early expectations are that he will get enough votes in the end, as Republican senators have been deferential to Trump's picks. But the clashes with Paul suggest it may not be smooth sailing for him to secure unanimous support from Republicans who hold an 8-7 majority on the committee. Still, Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania said he would keep an open mind and that his experience with Mullin has been consistent kindness and professionalism. Foreign travel. During the hearing, Paul and Peters pressed Mullin for more details about the classified travel he said he took as a House member. Mullin first became a senator in 2023 after serving in the House for a decade prior to that. "It is classified," he said, "but in 2015, I was asked to train with a very small contingency and go to a certain area, which was scheduled for 2016. I have spoken in general about my experiences, but I've never spoken specifically on details, on dates, or on the mission. Some of it may be public," he added, "but it would be very small, most of it because of my recollection, which were going back 10 years. I think there's only 4 people read in on it." Mullin declined to say where the trip was or who the 4 people read in on it were, citing classified information. Asked who classified it, Mullin said the House, later adding, "I'm assuming." Peters and Paul offered to discuss the travel with him in a SCIF, a secure facility for discussing classified information. Peters accused Mullin of not being forthcoming with me or this committee. Paul said he asked the FBI explicitly if Mullin had done any kind of classified work, and that it should have shown up in paperwork for his nomination and could be viewed privately by the committee. Peters said no such paperwork was provided to them, and he asked the FBI about it. I said, "Well, I don't see anything for Sen Mullin. Why is that?" They said nothing showed up, Peters said. Mullin said he had nothing to hide and had no issues with discussing details in a SCIF if authorized to do so. Paul seemed to threaten to hold up Mullin's nomination. "I'm still willing to have the vote tomorrow, but I can cancel the vote tomorrow," he said. By hearing's end, they agreed to have an initial meeting in a SCIF to discuss the issue on Wednesday afternoon. "Several members would like just to walk over and do it," said Paul, "and I think that makes it much more likely that we have the vote tomorrow." Paul told NBC News that he still plans to hold Mullin's committee confirmation vote tomorrow, as long as that classified discussion goes as planned and is forthcoming. Paul said he personally will vote no, but it likely won't matter. "This is also going to be the fastest voter of Homeland Security, despite my misgivings," he said. ICE. Democrats pushed Mullin on how he would take a different approach to ICE than Noam. "I do believe there is a better approach, and I think working with municipalities, I would love to see ICE become a transport more than the front line," Mullin said. He also walked back comments he made disparaging Alex Priddy as a deranged individual after the 37-year-old Minnesota man was killed by DHS agents. "Those words probably should have been retracted. I shouldn't have said that," Mullin said under questioning from Peters. "I went out there too fast. I was responding immediately without the facts. That's my fault. That won't happen as secretary." "I regret those statements," Mullin said, while adding that he absolutely will apologize if the investigation of the Priddy shooting proves him wrong. But Mullin declined to take back his comment that the shooting of another Minnesota protester, Renee Good, was absolutely justified. "It's very clear that an officer had to make a split decision," Mullin said in response to Democratic questioning. "In that case, a car was running towards him and did strike him. At that point, that car becomes a lethal weapon." Mullin said the federal investigation into Good's death is going on, and he would take a look at it if confirmed. He also said he would revoke a policy put in place by Noam to personally review all DHS spending over $100,000 when asked about it by Democratic Sen. Andy Kim of New Jersey. "Absolutely. That's called micromanaging," Mullin said. Fight with Paul. Paul persisted in demanding that Mullin answer for his comments about the Kentucky senator getting violently assaulted by a neighbor years ago. "I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it," Mullin said. Paul played a montage of Mullin threatening to fight Teamsters President Sean O'Brien at a Senate hearing, to which Mullin noted that "my good friend Sean O'Brien was sitting behind him and that the two have since reconciled their differences." "Sir, I get it. It's about character assassination for you. That's the way this game is played. I understand it," Mullin told Paul. "And you are making this about you." Mullin pushed back on Paul in his own statement. "I have to address remarks the chairman made calling me a liar. Sir, I think everybody in this room knows that I'm very blunt and direct to the point. And if I have something to say, I'll say it directly to your face," Mullin said. The senator did not deny making the remarks or apologize to Paul. "It seems like you fight Republicans more than you work with us," he told Paul. "We just don't get along." "As far as me saying that I invoke violence, I don't. I don't think anybody should be hit by surprise. I don't like that," Mullin told Paul, while adding, "Let me earn your respect." "I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect," he said. Sahil Kapoor is a senior national political reporter for NBC News. Sarah Mims is the deputy Washington editor for NBC News Digital. Alexandra Marquez is a politics reporter for NBC News.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intelli report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers!